In today's video, we'll visit one of the 3 exploding lakes in a body of water so hot that it could cook you alive. Lake Natron. Africa is home to more than just wildlife and deserts. It also has numerous lakes, savannas, and rainforests. The largest of these is the second largest freshwater lake in the world. However, the continent is also home to the infamous killer lakes, where no wildlife or human settlement is known to be safe. Lake Natron, located in Tanzania, is regarded as one of the world's deadliest lakes. It's a beautiful lake filled with millions of flamingos. Nonetheless, though, it's extremely toxic to humans. The lake is near a volcano, which spews a rare kind of lava rich in sodium and potassium carbonate. This chemical mixture was once used in Egyptian mummification, creating the ideal preservative in lake form. And although the water may not immediately mummify humans if they were to take a quick dip, it's still discouraged as the lake temperature can reach up to 60 degrees Celsius. Mind you, that's hot enough to give you 3rd-degree burns. The high evaporation in the area has resulted in alkalinity in up to 12 pH, and the lake's cyanobacteria have turned it crimson. Despite popular belief, the alkaline waters of Lake Natron support a healthy ecosystem of flamingos and other wetland birds, as well as tilapia and the algae on which massive flocks of flamingos feed on. Lake Kivu. Lake Kivu is yet another African killer lake. It's one of the world's only 3 exploding lakes and one of the deadliest lakes known to man. Lake Kivu, on the border of Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, is one of several lakes that form the East African Rift Valley. The famous African lake is one of the continent's largest, with a surface area of 2,700 square kilometers. Because of its unusual mix of characteristics, Lake Kivu is a fascinating subject for scientists, as well as a potential source of risk and wealth for the millions of people who live nearby. Despite its beauty, Lake Kivu behaves differently than most deep lakes, making it very dangerous. The lake is perched atop active volcanic hot springs. As a result, these gases accumulate in the lake's deepest layers, which are around 300 meters deep. These gases would normally bubble out. However, because they're so deep beneath the lake waters, they're under a lot of pressure. To avoid a catastrophic eruption, the government has actually turned the gases as a source of energy and has begun to tap this source before it explodes. More than 2 million people actually live along Lake Kivu, so caution advised. Lake Nyos. The crater lake known as Lake Nyos is located in Cameroon's northwest. It is a deep lake located high on the crater rim of an extinct volcano in Cameroon's Oku volcanic plain. Although it appears to many as a normal lake, it's regarded as the world's deadliest. The Lake Nyos disaster of 1986 shocked Africa when the lake unexpectedly released a massive cloud of carbon dioxide in the middle of the night, killing over 1,700 people and 3,500 animals. The majority of the towns and villages in the area were abandoned following the disaster. The dead bodies bore no signs of trauma or struggle. These people had simply died where they were. As the research team approached Lake Nyos, they noticed an increase in the number of bodies, and when they arrived, they noticed that the lake was an unusual dark brown color. The fact that the lake was to blame for the deaths was obvious to the scientists, but the mechanism involved was not. The cause of the gas explosion may be summed up in 2 words, though: carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide in Lake Nyos was suppressed beneath the lake's waters until it was released quickly, resulting in a spontaneous, swift, and very quiet disaster. Lake Manon. Just like Nyos and Kivu, Lake Manon is another rare, killer, and explosive body of water. It's a crater lake found in the West Province of Cameroon and is one of Africa's dangerous lakes, which erupted in the late 1980s. A limnic eruption at the lake occurred on August 15, 1984, resulting in the release of significant amounts of carbon dioxide and the deaths of 37 people. Lake Manon is one of only 3 lakes in the world where significant amounts of gas have been absorbed and repressed deep beneath the lake water's surface, creating ideal conditions for a limnic eruption. A limnic eruption occurs when dissolved CO2 erupts from deep lake waters, creating a gas cloud that can suffocate wildlife, cattle, and humans. Because rising CO2 displaces water, a tsunami could result from a limnic eruption. Onondaga Lake. Even when nature threatens an urban community, as demonstrated by Onondaga Lake, people do not always respect it. This lake was once considered sacred by the local Onondaga Native Americans, but it has recently become a tourist attraction with beaches, hotels, and recreation, but only for a short time. Unfortunately, as the area became more industrialized, the lake became a major source of pollution due to years of untreated trash dumped in it. Onondaga Lake's water quality suffered over time as a result of increased industrial development, population growth, and sewage and industrial discharges. Swimming was prohibited by 1940 and fishing was prohibited in 1970. One of the main contaminants found in the lake is mercury, which is extremely dangerous and toxic. Because of this, Onondaga Lake was considered the most polluted lake in the US and one of the world's most polluted lakes in general. The lake is now the cleanest it's been in over 100 years thanks to pollution control efforts that began in the 1970s and more recent cleanup work. The lake reopened to fishing in 1986 with consumption warnings and over 65 species of fish having been documented. Many people's expectations have been exceeded by the ongoing revitalization of Onondaga Lake, but there's still work to be done. Horseshoe Lake. Horseshoe Lake in California is surrounded by dozens of acres of dead trees, making it an ideal spot for picnics and hiking. Between 1989 and 1990, a series of earthquakes created pathways for carbon dioxide to escape from the magma below, resulting in the dead trees. According to reports, the lake is teeming with highly concentrated carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide, a toxic cocktail of poison that poses a threat to humans. If you begin to feel dizzy, leave immediately. There's warning signs alerting you to the toxic gas being released. As a result, camping in the area is not recommended. In dry years, the lake shrinks dramatically over the summer as its feeder streams dry up, leaving expanses of sandy beach to play on. While the lake is generally safe, there's been some fatalities as a result of the gas. There are now 100 acres of dead and dying trees in the area. You can get an idea of how deadly it can be by considering the fact that 3 people passed away in 2006 from carbon dioxide exposure in a cave close to the lake. Lake Karachay. Welcome to the stunning Lake Karachay, the most polluted place on the planet due to the proximity of nuclear power plants in Russia. In 1990, a radiation dose of 600 Rontgen would have been more than enough to kill you from just standing on the shore for an hour. The advantage is that the lakefront real estate is probably incredibly affordable. One of the biggest and most leaky nuclear facilities in Russia, the Mayak Production Association, is where the lake is situated. Up until 1990, the Russian government completely concealed Mayak, which mainly used that time to have nuclear meltdowns and dump waste into the river. By the time Mayak's existence was officially acknowledged, there had been a 21% increase in cancer incidents, a 25% increase in birth defects, and a 41% increase in leukemia in the Chelyabinsk region. Lake Karachay is now filled with concrete to keep radioactive sediment away from the shore. The Tetra River's downstream water contains almost no radioactive cesium, but you can't drink it, and the riverbanks will be dangerous for hundreds of years still. Either way, this nuclear power plant sucks. Its operating license was revoked in 2003 for dumping waste into open water, but at least operating licenses exist now. And today, years after Mayak resurfaced on maps, it's even possible to stand on the shores of Lake Karachay and not die. But I wouldn't take that chance. Now it's time for the day's best pick. We'll be visiting a lake that proves the saying, looks can be deceiving. The Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon is, or was, one of the most beautiful lakes on this list. The lake used to have a beautiful, brilliant blue tinge to it, attracting swimmers from all around. However, don't let its looks deceive you. This lake is found in the outskirts of Buxton, Derbyshire and the Harper Hill area, near a lime quarry. Tourists are being warned to avoid this dangerous blue lagoon, and it's still like swimming in a bath of bleach. Experts say it's probably the most dangerous water in the UK and is so toxic that it can burn off skin. This is due to high alkaline pH levels similar to bleach. A sign near the pool warns that the contaminated water may cause skin and eye irritations, as well as stomach problems and fungal infections such as thrush. This lake was even dyed black to deter any would-be swimmers. It was also observed that the lagoon was once used as a dumping ground. Not only that, but this lovely body of water is actually home to car wrecks, trash, feces, and dead animals. That doesn't stop you from swimming in it, then I don't know what else would. Frying Pan Lake. Frying Pan Lake, located atop the Waimangu volcanic rift, is a geological wonder. The earth beneath the lake is bubbling and shifting, always on the verge of erupting. When Mount Tarawera erupted nearby in 1886, it had a large impact on the surrounding areas. Hundreds of people were killed and the village was completely destroyed. Lava engulfed the lovely terrace houses. This geological event resulted in the world's largest hot springs, aptly named Frying Pan Lake. A massive 38,000 meter square hot spring lake with water temperatures ranging from 50 to 60 degrees. The boiling hot center, despite being shallow in places, plunges 20 meters into the ground into the molten crust below. If you walk within 100 meters of Frying Pan Lake, you'll feel the heat radiating from the lake. By all means, jump in if you want to be cooked like a roast dinner though. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it really works. Laguna Caliente. Laguna Caliente, located 7,545 feet above sea level in Costa Rica's active Poas volcano, is not a lake worth diving into. The famous volcanic crater lake has one of the highest acidity counts of any lake in the world, with pH levels approaching 0. Sulfur floating on the surface of Laguna Caliente creates a stunning array of colors ranging from greens and blues to bright yellows. Researchers from the University of Colorado Boulder discovered bacteria in the lake, proving that life can survive in conditions previously thought to be inhospitable. Although the diversity of life in this lake is low, it has managed to adapt and survive in a variety of ways. According to the researchers, this otherworldly environment could hint at how life might have existed on Mars billions of years ago and reveal new locations to search for evidence of ancient life on the Red Planet. See you all next time!